Hey, Gabriel here. We help gym owners to systematize client acquisition so they can grow to 7 figures and above. On today's video, I'm going to show you a great strategy that you can use not only to make more money and keep members longer, but also to avoid the think about it and I need to talk to my spouse. This is definitely an objection that I see a lot of salespeople, even outside of fitness, struggle with. And I've got an incredible strategy that you're going to absolutely love that is going to get you rid of this problem. I'm going to go on my little drawing app to show you exactly what it looks like so you can truly understand what it is. Stay until the end to make sure that you understand the full strategy because all the pieces have to be working together for you to see the best results. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So just before going ahead and tell you the exact strategy, I want to tell you what happens in the back end. So typically in the back end, what we do to get our partners over 80% close rates, what we do is we go ahead and we run ads on offers that gave them free trials. If you're offering them some form of trial or some form of thing that gives them the opportunity to come to the gym for the first time, what you gotta understand is that this strategy has to be used on the first time they are coming to the gym. Really important. Now, when do you do this exactly? Do that after the workout for an extremely important reason, because after the endorphin is flowing, they enjoy the workout. Of course, if you have a great product, they enjoy the workout. They're like, oh, it was a great time. Great. What you're gonna tell them is you say, hey, I just have a few questions for you. Would you mind if I go ahead and ask them? I just want to ask you a few questions after your workout. Oh, no, they're going to say no problem. You go ahead and you put them into a sales environment, ideally with lots of social proof, testimonials or things like this around the world, so they feel like, oh, okay, I'm confident that those guys are, well, going to serve me well. Now, at some point, they're going to understand that this is going to be a sales pitch. So you can relax the ambiance and say something like, and by the way, you may feel like I'm going to scream at you and sell you a memberships. Don't worry. It's just to check if you're a good fit for our facility, since we only have limited spots for this promotion, and I want to see if you're good for our other members and if also this can be a great fit for you and how we can serve you. Does that sound fair? They're going to say yes to that. After this, what you can do is you truly have to understand what sales is. As I mentioned in the other videos, but I'm going to recapitulate that point. Sales is just about three things: understanding and defining a current situation. So this is current situation right here, current situation. And you also have to define a desired situation right here. We're going to do a little star to make it even flashier. But this is their desired situation. Now, what you want to do, the first part of your call can be the first quarter of your call, let's say, is going to be building rapport and actually defining that current situation. So, okay, tell me more about why did you came in the gym in the first place? Okay, cool. And so what is your goal? Tell me more about that. How long have you been struggling with this? How long have this been a problem for you? Does that impact other areas of your life? And what I would say would be a great transition question you can be using is, great, on a scale from 1 to 10, tell me, Rob, how do you feel right now? Feel like a 4? Okay, cool. And so that sucks, of course. What would make you, what does a 10 look like to you? Tell me more. Oh, so you're actually going to be fit, you're going to be able to run again, enjoy your time with your family a bit more because you are able to keep up with the kids. Okay, great, incredible. So tell me a bit more. What does that look like specifically for you? Tell me a bit more about that. And then what you do is you transition about them defining their current, their actually desired situation. Okay, tell me a bit more about that. What does that look like to you? In 12 months from now, ideally use that with the length of the membership that you're going to be using to sell them. So if you sell 12-month memberships, engagements, go ahead and say, hey, in 12 months from now, what do you want to achieve? Okay, I want fitter, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to be able to run again, I want to be able to run a marathon. Okay, cool. And you go ahead and you make them define this desired situation. Now, once you have those, what you got to do is you got to make them realize, oh, damn, there is a gap right here, as you can see. So what I want to do is you can ask them some questions like, okay, so what prevented you to get there on your own? Okay, so why did you think that this is something, because obviously you tried things in the past, as you mentioned in the part of this presentation, but I'm curious, what happened that made it for you impossible to get there in the first place? So here you are really accentuating the fact that this is something they are not able to do at the moment and they're struggling with. Then, as I mentioned, you go ahead and you mention, okay, so what's preventing you to get there on your own? And then they're going to tell you the reason. We call that defeat statements, meaning that they accept that, like, hey, I can't do this on my own, I need help. That's when they're actually open to hear more about your pitch. And what is the pitch actually when you think about it? It's really easy. It's just a bridge between the two. So simple. Because once you understand this, you understand that each little stones that's going to be on this bridge, well, I'm sorry for my drawing skills, but you get the idea. Let's imagine that those are stones for a second. What you gotta understand is that those little stones right here, they are made for you to be able to pass through the bridge. Without those stones, people are going to feel like they're going to fall off this bridge. So what you gotta understand is that you gotta position your product as those little stones right here. But to make sure they are well in place, you gotta attach them to how it's going to get them to their current situation. So for example, So first, before going into this, I'm going to actually show you how we transition. So first, I'm going to tell you how we would transition from the phase of understanding their current situation, them admitting defeat, to pitching our services. Well, Bob, thanks a lot for entering my policy interrogation. Wasn't that bad, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I understand the current situation. So I just want to tell you, Bob, I'm so excited because it seems to me like you're a perfect fit for what we do. Can I tell you a bit more about what we do? I'm going to say yes. Great. So what we do, Bob. And then you have a statement of expertise like, we help men in their 40s and 50s to lose weight and actually be able to enjoy time with their family again. And typically the person that comes into those doors go from the everyday family member to the actual athletes. But one of the things that we specialize in is actually helping everyday people to get to the level where they feel worthy again. They feel great in their body. They feel like they can actually do things again because it's been something that has been struggling for years. So it seems to me, Bob, like you're an incredible fit for what we do. And as you can see, in the precedent phases, what the tone I had was more, tell me more, like a therapist, a doctor, understanding the situation. And now we go ahead and you dial it up and you make sure that you have incredible enthusiasm and excitement to share with them how you're going to help. So the contrast is going to make your product and your services look 10 times better than what they actually are right now, which is even greater. That way you're going to be able to sell more people. Once you gave your expertise statement, we're then going to go into the pitch. I want you to focus on understanding this thing. Don't sell on features. We do not sell features here, because if you have features here, if you put features, it's like, you know, in those adventure films when you have those bridges with like old wooden things in there that are just, you can definitely see that they're going to crack at the first time somebody's going to put their feet on that. Well, it's exactly the same thing when you are selling on features. The bridge is going to fall apart and they are not going to be able to traverse the thing of going through their current situations to their desired ones. So do not sell on features. You got to put some stones into that. You know, to build a solid bridge, you got to make sure everybody can go in there. So to do that, to build those stones, you got to sell on benefits and how it's going to get them there. What you do is you attach how it's going to help them achieve their goals to each and every single part that you are pitching. For example, well, Bob, we're going to get started by doing a nutrition consultation so that you know exactly what to do to lose those first 10 pounds that you want to lose first. Once that is done, we'll then go ahead and assign you to a specific coach that's going to go ahead and keep you accountable so that you not only lose the 10 of the pounds that you have to lose, but keep them off. As you mentioned, that's extremely important. As you can see, I'm attaching each and every single part of our product to what they told me earlier. So make sure you take notes on that, because once you have those are really ammo that you can use to go into battle safely. So make sure that you use those ammos to close them on the deal. You can ask them at the end, okay, great, so do you see exactly how this would get you to your goal? I would stay away from the statements, do you have any questions for me? Because they're just going to say, no, I just want to know about the price or something like this. Say something like, what questions do you have for me? What questions do you have specifically for me? Something like this, because that's going to encourage them to give the questions they may have about the memberships, how it works and all that. And the goal is to make sure you eradicate all the questions and all the doubts they may have around the services and how the gym works, so that you can go ahead and go into pricing with as fewer objections as possible. Then, my friends, this is when the strategy comes in hard. This is how you sell those guys 3, 6, 12 months packages. I'm going to give you the exact strategy here. The goal here is you pick your long-term memberships. Let's pick 6 months, for example. So you have your 6-month packages. Your monthly payments on month to month are going to be, for example's sake, they're going to be $180 per month. If they take an engagement of 6 months, it goes down to $150. What I would advise you guys to have is have a setup fee. If you don't have one, implement one just for the sake of this strategy. I think it's going to be an incredible one. And of course, you can charge more, because I can guarantee you are worth way more than what you actually charge. I guarantee you that. You're not overpricing. Use a setup fee if you don't have one. I would advise the setup fee to be between $100 to $300. Pick and choose which one you want. Now, once you have all those things set it up, you can start your pitch and say something like this. Typically, John, to get your goals achieved, over the time period that we have, it would take you 6 months. If I would to get you on board today, it would be $180 per month plus $100 setup. However, we have an incredible deal Friday for our first-time comers, and we do is waive that setup, and we also make so that you only pay $180 per month. So you are really looking at saving $380 in total. Will you take Visa and MasterCard today? You know, something like this. And if you have a play of scarcity that you can add, and by the way, we only have 10 spots, so I really want to make sure that I get you on board, people because you're such a great fit for that. What do you say? Visa MasterCard today. Something like this, because if you had this, it's going to definitely give some urgency. Now, as you can see with this strategy, it's pretty smart because once you use that, they're only able to benefit from this offer now today. So if they do not take advantage of that, well, they're going to not be able to get the deal. So you can leverage this in objections handling. If somebody tells you then, oh, but I really need to think about it. Of course, you can try to handle it before, but I would say your last result is leveraging this offer. Because most of the time when they say this, it's a small screen, meaning that they just have some doubts around the pricing or the offer or maybe the product that you guys have, and you gotta dig and find what it is. But most of the times, like let's say they really want to think about it and you try to handle it and you can't, for the love of God, you are not able to handle that situation. What you're gonna be doing then is really simple. You're gonna say something along those lines. Hey, no problem, you can go ahead and think about it, John, that's not a problem. However, I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that, as I mentioned, this is only for our first-time visitors. Meaning if you were to come down 2 to 3 days from now and tell me, hey, let's go ahead and do that, well, I can't guarantee your spot since we have so much demand at this moment for this. So, do you really want to do this, by the way? Is this something you really want to be doing? Okay, cool. So, and by asking this, you would actually double check again if this is not a smoke screen. So, what I can do for you, John, is I'm going to get your card on file today. I'm not going to charge you, don't worry. You can believe me. I'm not going to charge you until the end of the 10-day free trial. All right? Now, you go ahead and think about it and you tell me if this is something that you want to do or not. If you don't want to do it in the end, no problem. We're cool. I just cancel the card and you're good to go. But I want to make sure I do that since this is the only way for me to keep your spots, or else I would have to give it to somebody else. Sounds fair? Something like this. You can use that for the spouse objection. I need to talk to my spouse, or I need to think about it. It works like wonders, and you're going to get people that not only close today, so you're going to get a better conversion rate, but also you're going to get them to close, most of them on 3, 6, 12-month engagements, if that's what you want to go ahead for. Now, I just want to give you a quick, I would say a quick bonus to this video would be, well, Gabriel, I've got some franchise rules and things that do not permit me to use and like modify prices like this. First of all, don't share your prices on your website or anywhere public, because then you don't have the freedom to play with your prices. And the thing is, I guarantee you guys that most of the runners I talk to, they can charge double of what they're charging right now, and they would actually benefit a lot from that. You guys are definitely worth way more than what you're charging at the moment. I can guarantee you that. Let's say you have a bit of resistance on actually implementing something like a setup fee on some of the strategies that I mentioned to you. Okay, cool. So let's say you can't implement a setup. What I would go ahead and do is I would simply increase the prices on the membership just to compensate for that. However, let's say you have a setup fee, but you don't want to waive it. You really want to make sure that you don't waive it. Again, increase the prices of your membership so that you can compensate for that and waive that setup fee so you can compensate. That's the idea and the goal I would go for. Now, if you can do both of those, well, you can try the strategy with having most gyms have discounts on engagements, of course, but you can try this strategy a bit differently with that's going to be less ideal and less efficient, but it's still a powerful strategy that you guys can leverage. By the way, if you do struggle to get clients every single month and get a consistent amount of clients every single month for your gym, there's a link in the description. You can click it. I don't really mind. Otherwise, I truly appreciate the fact that you gave me, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but 15-20 minutes of your time, because I know how valuable your time is. So I want to thank you for that. Don't hesitate to subscribe and to like the video, not only because I would appreciate it, and I'm a nice guy, so I would appreciate that you give me a little reward for that, but if not, just for the sake of you, if you do like this video, you're going to get better recommendations on YouTube, which is going to give you better videos in the future. That's going to help you to grow your business. Otherwise, I see you on the next video. Have a good one.